All right, my name is Leo Smirglia, and I will be going over my research. So, my topic was black athletes who are trying to make it professional level in the National Hockey League, also known as the NHL. By looking at these challenges that these athletes are facing, the goal is to understand how these challenges affect the representation of these athletes at the highest level of sport. So, hockey first developed in the 1850s to the 1860s in Canada, more specifically Nova Scotia. And then the BHL, which is the Black Hockey League, formed around 1890 to about the 1930s in the range. So the BHL was developed in churches, which was a great way for churches to get involved and a great way for them to recruit young men. And then they would recruit these young men to their congregation. They would build their congregation, and then these young men would have something to do while they're still in the congregation outside of the church. So, looking deeper into the BHL, they had one specific player. He was known as the Jackie Robinson of hockey. His name was Willie O'Ree. Willie was known as their star player. He didn't really make it out of the BHL until about 1950, and then 2 years prior to 1958, he was in the minor league system in the NHL, and then he ultimately got brought up in the NHL in 1958. Willie's way to getting up to the NHL. He had a few specific problems getting there. One was the segregation, which Jim Crow laws. So every time he would go to the South and try out for any hockey, anything, he would get hit with the segregation laws that were around. So that's a little on the BHL and Willie O'Ree. Looking at modern day, currently in the NHL today, there are approximately 5% of players in the league. Looking at the bigger picture, that is 43 out of 700 players, which is very low. Very low. And then over 100 years of the NHL, you have about 70 black players total, which is horrid. And then you see the lack of black athletes in hockey, and you look at the younger generation and how that younger generation gets developed up in hockey. Well, the younger generation of black athletes, the youth of black athletes, they don't really want to play hockey, and you ask why. Well, there's not enough black athletes in the sport for them to be like, oh, well, why would I play hockey? That's a white man's sport, right? So, I think if the whole dynamic of hockey is just a white league gets changed, then you have better development for those youth athletes.